Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Thibodeau of the Minnesota Timberwolves has been fired as president and head coach of their basketball team. Look, man, I've been telling y'all this for quite some time now. Andrew Wiggins and Karl Towns are just not guys people want to play with or play for. It looks great on paper. This is that new Mercedes-Benz that you wanted your whole life. All right? This is that new Mercedes-Benz. Okay, you wanted this car. It's a new 2019. Hell, we in the new year. Let's say 2020. This new 2020 Mercedes-Benz is all black, jet black. You've been dreaming about having like a variation of this car since you was a kid. You finally get this car. Waiting on it. You get this car. You get, as a matter of fact, you so ballin', you go get two of them. Two all black Mercedes-Benz. You get the car and you realize this thing takes a ton of work to keep up. It takes a ton of work to keep up. Some of y'all are like, what the hell is he talking about a minute into this video? Andrew Wiggins and Karl Towns are two new Mercedes-Benz. That's what they are. They look pretty. They look great. They need a lot of maintenance. And what I mean maintenance, look, man, Karl Towns and Wiggins, I don't know how to say this without being direct and as fair as honest as I can to these guys. If I were in the gym hooping, and I am no hooper, you know, I'm not good at the game of basketball. Let me tell y'all something. I understand people and personalities. If I were in the gym hooping and I could pick between Karl Towns and Wiggins or two lesser talents, right? And let's just throw some names out there. I just did a video on the Memphis Grizzlies. If I could pick between Gary Temple Jr. and Jaren Jackson Jr. or Wiggins or Karl Towns, now on paper, you're obviously going to say Wiggins and Towns have superior talent. Towns maybe top 10, top 20 guy in the league. I don't know what you think of him, right? I probably would pick Jaren Jackson Jr. or Gary Temple over those two guys if I'm hooping for a dub. Because Wiggins and Towns are missing that mental component. We all see it. Everybody just don't know how to say it, right? Everybody want to be politically correct. They're not dogs. I guess it's the best way I could put it without getting in trouble. They're not dogs, man. Wiggins, you know what rubbed me wrong about Andrew Wiggins? When in his rookie year, go watch, it's an interview, right? When Wiggins got traded from Cleveland, when LeBron decided to come back in 2014, and he got traded to Minnesota, and I think he played the Cavaliers in a preseason game. Minnesota played the Cavaliers in a preseason game. And they interviewed Wiggins, and he was like, I think it's good for the fans to see the stars on display. He was talking about him and LeBron. You know, it's good for the fans to see the stars out playing. I was like, stars? You fresh out of Kansas. You ain't even win a ring at Kansas. How you a star? I get there's a lot of hype around your name. You're not a star. Fam, you're not a star. Out the gate, he rubbed me the wrong way. And Karl Towns, he's just a nice guy. Ain't nothing wrong with him. But he's their best big man since Kevin Garnett. I know Kevin Love was there, but they put them Kevin Garnett type expectations on Karl Towns. And he's literally the complete opposite from a personality standpoint from KG. He ain't mean. I mean, dude's got his money. He just seems like he's having a good life. He enjoys music. He just seems like he's having a good life. What's his hunger? What's his, like, what's driving him? What is he trying to do with his money and his platform? Like, what's driving him? Was I happy with the approach Jimmy Butler took to get out of Minnesota? No. Have I told y'all on my platform countless times, I don't believe he was wrong at the core element of like what he wanted to get out for? And Jimmy Butler's got his own issues in Philadelphia right now. But let's make it clear. Jimmy Butler wanted out of Philadelphia because that team, out of Minnesota, because that team doesn't play hard. Jimmy Butler was homeless at one point in his life. He is not the premier talent. Like, he's not the guy who was expected to be great in the NBA. He had to work his ass off and get to where he's at now. And he's established himself as a household name in the league. Man, Jimmy Butler's like, yo, look at all this talent these two got. Look, y'all got God-given abilities. Anthony Andrew Wiggins with his wingspan. Karl Anthony Towns with this, not only his length, but just sheer athleticism and just abilities, right? And y'all just don't see how good y'all could be. Wiggins and Towns, I don't think they understand how great they could be. And to bring it full circle to back to Tibbs, he just was the wrong coach at the wrong time. On paper, I get why Tibbs took this job. I'm not mad at Tibbs. Two talented young bulls that we believe one day is going to get it right. But newsflash, everyone's not going to grow every year like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook did. They did it as best we've ever seen, right? They were young. They were bad. Like, the team was bad. They got a little better this year, a little better the next year. Next thing you know, they're in the NBA Finals facing LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Salute to KD, Harden, and Westbrook. They got it together. Everyone's not going to grow like them. First and foremost, the league is super competitive right now. But these young bulls work. All right, these young bulls want to be great. The Damian Lillards of the world. I'm just talking about guys, not to mention like the premier teams like the Warriors. You got to face them 4 times a year being in the West. LeBron's still LeBron. James Harden's playing unbelievable basketball. These dudes work, man. And Wiggins and Cat just seem like they're comfortable being a part of the mix. They're, what are they, 13th in the West, right? They're 12th in the Western Conference right now. This is not Tibbs' fault. Should he have gotten fired? Okay, if you think that I'm fine with that. They won the game that he got fired right after. I heard Tibbs had some, during that Jimmy Butler trade saga, Tom Thibodeau wanted the Timberwolves to keep Jimmy Butler. And it was his idea to bring him in. But the owner, Glenn Taylor, was like, nobody's going to be disrespecting my franchise. So I knew it was a matter of time if the Jimmy Butler, I think I said that in one of my videos, if this Jimmy Butler thing doesn't work out and they trade him and that team goes south, they're going to hold Tibbs accountable for that. Again, on paper, you got young guys in Wiggins, Towns, and you got veteran in Jimmy Butler. You're supposed to be good. They got bounced in the first round of the playoffs by Houston last year. I get why Tibbs is fired, but I don't think Tim should take this one on the chin. This ain't his fault, man. He'll get another job. Maybe he's better off as an assistant coach. Maybe he should be focusing on defense pretty much. The NFL's, how the NFL has a coordinators. He probably should be that as an assistant coach in the NBA. A defensive coordinator, essentially, for a really good team. He could be that. Maybe go join that Clippers staff after the season. They're going to be looking to get Kawhi and company in. He coached under Doc Rivers before. Tibbs will be fine, even if he has to be an assistant, because he's a great basketball mind. This one, I'll give him the blame for the Chicago Bulls. Even then, though, like injuries, Derrick Rose couldn't stay healthy. I'll give him more blame with the Bulls, though, than I will with the Timberwolves. I think this is just about personnel. And I just don't think Wiggins and Towns got that killer instinct. I'm watching Derrick Rose at his age with the amount of injuries that he's had on his body. He is clearly their hungriest player. Not the best. Clearly their hungriest player. And it shows. Minnesota fires Tom Thibodeau. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Telefair.
Mr. Telefair.
Mr. Telefair.
Mr. Telefair.
Shout out to Mr. Telefair.
You're watching Mr. Telefair TV.
Mr. Telefair TV. Here with the Triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.